Hey there everyone, how's it going? Sharms Tafeez here with M Digital Gaming, and today we're playing Battlebit Remastered. Your eyes do not deceive you. This is not Roblox, this is not Battlefield, some low-spec version of Battlefield 3 or anything like that. This is a game called Battlebit, and it's made by, I believe, 3 to 4 developers. A lot of sources are saying 3 developers, and it's been on my radar for the longest time. I've been wanting to cover this game since it started doing public testing from their Discord server back in 2022, but I've just been setting it off, and literally last week it just dropped into early access on Steam, and you can actually go buy it now. I bought myself the early supporters pack, but you can get in on the ground floor as little as $15 or so. But I'm doing a little bit different of a first impressions video. Usually I'm better at actually getting into a first round and playing things and showing off my raw impressions, but I decided to make a much more delegated video, as I would say. I'm still trying to get into the act of just trying to get back into uploading regularly and being consistent, so bear with me. And if you're new around here, don't forget that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and here we go. So Battlebit Remastered is like one of the only PvP games that I've been looking forward to, a multiplayer shooter that caught my attention in the last couple of years. And originally it started as a small project of 2 developers back in 2015, but then they combined all the elements of modern day military sims, but they wanted to be able to run it on a potato, essentially. Very low spec, it's very easy to see. As you can see with the Roblox looking aesthetics, it's very blocky and everything. But it was rebuilt up in the ground in 2019 and started doing public testing in 2022, as I mentioned. So low specs, blocky like textures of the graphics is what I find very charming about it, but allows for it's one of the key things that allows for it to do. It's all built up in the Unity engine, which is, yes, that Unity engine, where literally the mobile game engine that it's known to be. But it's here we are playing this buttery smooth experience. It allows the game to have huge players. I believe you can go upwards towards 250 to 25 players on the map, and also full-on destruction. There's a lot of buildings you can knock over brick by brick, essentially. And scales of the battles can range from 64 to 128 players and to 254 players, like I said. And I only started playing around at the end of last year 2022, but I kept missing all the test dates. I am on the Discord server as well, the developers Discord server, and it's great. And practically the devs have taken every single element that we've requested. They've been very open and have talked to the community through and through, and honestly, it's been a blast trying to see these guys work on the game and bring in elements. Like, there's so many elements where they've been clear that they've taken inspiration from games like Battlefield. It's very much Battlefield inspired, or Sqaud, if you guys know about Sqaud. I played that, at least I played it a lot earlier in the year. And the matter of to say it's very niche. Don't let the aesthetic of the game trick you into thinking that this is very kiddie and very arcadey. Yes, there are elements of that where it feels like the gunplay can feel a lot like COD, or it looks like you're playing COD, but trust me, it's projectile based, it's not hit scanning. There is a learning curve to like learning the recoil pattern of your guns. If you do get hurt, there's no auto regen of health that has been adapted into the AAA medium. You can heal up, but you do have to highway into your corner, heal up, bandage up, and you're not healed up completely. You have to have a battle combat medic come in. But there's some cool aspects that were supposed to be implemented from like past Battlefield games, like Battlefield 5. You're supposed to be able to pick up your teammates and heal them here, but they totally cut that feature out. You can actually drag your teammates out of harm's way and heal them and reload things. And can I mention the gun customization is very vast. The art style, though it looks cluttered, I think it reads really well because of basically the blocky aesthetic, and again, it allows you to run this game literally on a potato and getting really great frame rates. Now, another thing to add is that despite the aesthetic of the game, it's probably the most fun I've had in a shooter in ages. I mean, as much as I love Battlefield 2042, it's probably been the most okayest experience. I think Battlefield has lost its identity and its original sandbox feel, and I've been really craving sandbox type games for a long time, which is why I found myself going back to older games like Mercenaries or Just Cause, or even the older Battlefield titles, because you can literally do whatever. Like, you can like in Battlebit Remastered, they have some features that hasn't been even in the Battlefield franchise for I don't know ages, like being able to like rappel down from a helicopter and just swing around. Like you'll see it later in the gameplay where like we're in the middle of a snow battlefield and these guys are just swinging, swinging down from a helicopter. And then there's grappling hooks, not like McKay style grappling hooks where you can Apex Legends yourself up to a roof. You literally put down a rope and your teammate can use it. And there's a lot of verticality, and since the game is new, a lot of people are learning the meta and everything like that. There's a lot to unlock. There's a lot to unpack here, and there are fortifications in the game, but unlike Battlefield 5, you can place some fortifications wherever, build little lean-tos and little crates to help you get up on roofs or create barriers and such. It's great. There is proximity chat, though I do turn it off, but it does make for some hilarious moments. Proximity chat goes two ways. One where you can kill the person, and then briefly, much like Warzone, you'll hear them whine. And you have other teammates telling you barking orders, and once again, like I said, it's squad based, so yes, it does have its Battlefield elements, but you can actually talk to your teammates. You can be a medic and call people over. It's very refreshing, I'll say. It's really refreshing when someone shoots me and then I can just shout to my closest teammate and where the guy is, and someone else will shoot them. Of course, there's the pinging, classic pinging system, and it's funny because the netcode of the game is so good, yet it does feel like I get deleted within a minute. Like the TTK is very brutal in this game. If you thought Battlefield 5 or like Sqaud had a brutal TTK system, my goodness, you will die in a minute. But sometimes it'll feel like when you go to empty a whole clip into a guy, there's a disconnect there. But I do like the brutality of it. It's very much you're rewarded for your accuracy as opposed to putting on like, oh, you have to go up against a guy like in Warzone. He has 5 attachments, but you don't have a meta gun, and it devolves into like who shoots first. And even if you turn on a cycle, oh, the guy has aim assist or something on, and you're done for because he has the meta gun unlocked and you don't. This is pretty much a game that rewards you for your accuracy and being very calculated, not kind. It's a first-person shooter. What am I saying? Not kind at all. But basically just holding your corners, and it does even devolve into something boring like MW2 2022 has become, where it's like you're holding corners and praying that the person runs around the corner. It's pretty much you're on your own sometimes if you like to play lone wolf, or playing with a squad is just as fun. You can lean around corners manually, which is a feature that has been lost unless you're playing Rainbow Six Siege or something like that. Movement is incredible, yet a little limiting. There's a lot to be desired. You can run, you can jump up and climb onto corners, pretty much like Battlefield 5, but you don't have parkour-like elements where you jump out a third-story window and you'll break your ankles essentially. But it's great. It is lacking a little in the music department, but I think that's okay in itself. You can wall bang people. Now, I do have a couple gripes with the game. A lot of the unlocks, such as, unfortunately, this game does have body armor, but I guess that's supposed to apply to like the realism side of it. So you will have to unlock, maybe like the helmet and body armor later on, but people who already have it unlocked can throw off the meta a little. So sometimes I'll empty a whole magazine into a guy and they'll be playing as the support class, and the support class has exclusive access to a body armor that pretty much makes you the juggernaut. And though body armor and all that is just tied to your movement speed and everything, like if you take off all your body armor, you can be like really fast, like really fast. You can just zoom around and everything, but you can get taken out within one or two hits. But if you're playing with like the balancing for body armor, I don't feel like it's there yet, you know. Maybe the developers need to play around with it a little bit more. And again, there's only, I think, 4 to 3 guys just making this such a fun game, and it takes like so many people to develop a Battlefield game just to become the most vanilla experience I've ever played. Like Battlefield 2042, outside of its fun parts, is a very vanilla Battlefield experience, which I wish they hadn't gone to. Like, you know, take all the positives of Battlefield that's come out through the years, like the movement from Battlefield 5 and 1, the nuances of fortifications and being able to tow any vehicle by plugging yourself in and just towing it around. Like, what happened to that? Now we're just back to boots on the ground, hero shooter kind of thing. But it did take a year just for Battlefield 2040 to turn itself around, and I still haven't touched the game for a while because I've been busy, like I said. But Battlefield this Battlebit is pretty much reviving that old Battlefield feeling that I really enjoy, and also bringing squad mechanics and insurgency. Like you can reload your gun fully. It's not a pool of ammo. You literally reload by magazine, not by clip. I'm sorry if I offend any gun owners out there, but you reload by magazine, and your bullets don't automatically just disappear into another magazine. Literally, you have to hold on to it. And then there's a second reload. The reload lets you drop the mag in, but you have to go back and collect it because you don't hold on to the magazines. You drop them literally on the ground. You have to go back and pick it up, and that might be counterintuitive, but it makes things a little more really cool in my opinion. It's a lot. It's a lot of hardcore mechanics in this game, but it's also very approachable. You can run. You can't really jump and shoot at the same time unless and your accuracy will be turned off. You can't run and dolphin dive. And here we go. Like I said, you see a guy hanging onto the helicopter, like I mentioned earlier. But it's an interesting game. There's a lot to desire here. The gunplay is fun. It's very snappy, but you're not going to become like a one-man Rambo army that you can become sometimes in Call of Duty. You have to play it smart. I still haven't had time to play on the vehicles for this game, but what I've heard is really good. Being in you can be like an Apache helicopter, like a Vietnam War helicopter, maneuver your vehicles around and tanks and everything. I've blown up a couple helicopters, and it kind of takes me back to my Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 days, where I just take an RPG and just shoot a helicopter out of the sky and watch it drop out, whereas opposed to now in Battlefield 2042 it takes 2 to 3 shots and it becomes very one-sided. I feel that vehicle in combat is just very balanced so far. You can't go on like strafing runs in a helicopter. I think I saw a video where a guy tried to do that and he got lit up because there's bullet penetration in this game. No FNJ or anything, no dumb things like that. And gosh, there you go, a clip of me hitting a helicopter with what can I say? It's just gets me grinning from side to side. But despite me being positive about the game, there are some it just takes a lot getting used to, like the health mechanic, the shooting mechanics. Like if I took a shot there, I can't. Even if I bandage up myself, my health won't return to a normal state. I have to go looking for a medic, or I recommend if you are playing solo like I am sometimes, I 100% recommend playing as the medic class, because the medic class has their own kit where not only do you have excess amount of bandages to bandage up your teammates, which, speaking of which, if you are only allowed 3 bandages if you're playing as a medic, so if you use your bandage to bandage up and revive your teammates, and by the way, teammates, it's not limited to squad mates. You can revive anyone regardless of class, as long as you have a band-aid on you. You can bandage them up and revive them back into the game, and it's pretty cool. I like that mechanic. It just allows for a quicker way to get back into the game, so you're not marching all the way down or waiting for your teammates to come and get you. But like I said, if you play, I recommend playing as medic first, because you have access to a med kit to not only heal others around you, but to heal yourself. So if you get shot up, you run around the corner or run away and drag people around the corner, get them to safety, and start healing them up. It's great. I like that a lot. That's the class I would recommend playing as. I'll probably put up a guide later, so if you're still watching, you know what to do, so you don't miss out. But nevertheless, the game is very, it can be overwhelming at times. It can be very a little clunky, but not too clunky, where if you're playing a milsim game, you probably know what I'm talking about, where it feels like the shooting, you need to press a separate button just to raise your weapon and then shoot. It's not none of that clunkiness, but there are the stuff to be desired still. I feel like maybe I shouldn't have to stand in one spot and then prone. I should be able to dive or prone, or I kind of do miss sliding around corners. I think sliding is, though a little, have been kind of abused in newer Call of Duty releases. I kind of like that feeling, just being sliding around the corner and be safe. The netcode could be worked on a little bit more, but so far, if you can get into a region that's good, it feels pretty one-to-one. Again, body armor is my main concern. Body armor does throw off the TTK a little, and despite the TTK being already brutal as it is, but I like that a lot. I wish sometimes, despite the enemies, they've adopted the Battlefield 2042 system where your enemies will have red LED lights on them, like you can see in the description, and your teammates have blue chevrons on top of themselves, or triangles, to show who they are. Green is your squad mates. That's good, but sometimes it's not projected. Like I'll get juked around because everyone literally has the same silhouette. I think Battlefield does it better, where silhouettes and classes are projected better in older Battlefield games, and even 2042. They've gotten better at being able to tell who's a bad guy, who's not, because of the bright LED lights. But sometimes you won't know who's who because everyone's wearing ETH. Everyone's literally a blocky man. So I believe the developers could probably figure out a better way to explain or project that. I don't know how. I don't think I can offer, maybe make the LEDs or make a something like more lights on them or something to make not give themselves away. But one of my main things, I still haven't come across a map yet, but they have night missions, so you can like bring up NVGs. There's literally like a C4 explosive you can do where you strap C4s to yourself and just blow yourself up, like literally just to say witness me and just blow yourself. But that's it for this video. What do you guys think about Battlebit Remastered? Have you checked it out? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely going to do more videos about it, do some more deep dives and a guide like I mentioned. But if you want to check out my other videos, check out any of the ones on the screen right now. Don't forget the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, leaving a like and a comment always helps me out. This is Sharms to be signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.